Hello and welcome to another CraftySniper's blog videos. In today's episode we're going to be discussing battery power or gas. Which one really is best? Obviously I'd need to have two weapon systems that are pretty much the same, only difference is one will be running on gas and one will be running on battery. So bringing up the world of battery is my AK Ames by G&G. And bringing up the world of gas is the AK-74 by GHK. Now, we'll move on to the electric one first. This is obviously G&G. G&G are a very, very trustworthy company. I've always found their guns to be extremely realistic. Also quite expensive, but they are very, very good quality. When it comes to external materials, compared to the real AK, you will end up pretty much one-to-one the same. You have steel, you have wood, you have a plastic grip. Pretty much the same. I mean, weight-wise, this gun really, really weighs quite a lot. When it comes to rattling and noise, yes, makes quite a heck of a lot of noise, but it's an AK. I can forgive the fact this thing makes noise because it's an AK. It's supposed to look battered. It's supposed to have panels that don't quite fit right, which is perfectly fine. Now this AK is a little bit different than most other electric AKs because the battery on a normal electric AK is stored underneath the top cover here. It takes an 8.4 stick type battery only. You may get special LiPo batteries that are in stick configuration, but your standard battery for an electric AK is the 8.4 stick. However, this gun's a little bit different because the battery is not held under this cover, it is held here. This is the pistol grip. The pistol grip also doubles up as an 11.1 LiPo battery. And if you buy this gun brand spanking new, in the pack you will get two batteries. So G&G very kindly give you two batteries, which are very expensive. They also give you the battery charger, which is bespoke and custom to this gun, which also makes it a bit of a negative because it means that you're very much restricted on where you can buy your bits for the battery system on this gun. However, going back to those numbers, 11.1 basically means the rate of fire on this gun is extremely fast. In fact, I shall demonstrate. Now I know this weapon is cleared, I know there's no rounds in the chamber, obviously I have no magazine connected to it, but I'm going to wear safety goggles first, because I'd rather not get an accidental BB to the face. Now, like any real AK, just hold it properly, this is the fire selector here. Moving it down one notch brings it into full automatic, just like the real steel version. However, the rate of fire is a little bit different than the real steel version. Just imagine being on the receiving end of what must have been 30 or 40 BBs. That'd hurt. Now, moving it further down another notch, you put the gun into semi-automatic. Now, the 11.1 LiPo battery in semi-automatic mode means the trigger response is extremely snappy and quick. Very fast. Moving it all the way back up again, puts the gun into semi-automatic and the trigger does not fire. Now, that's all nice. If you have the correct magazines for this gun, obviously G&G sell this with a high cap, which I hate. So I have these. These are mag mid caps, and yes, there is two of them. Yes, they are taped together. It's an AK. Why wouldn't I do this? Now, again, I know there's no ammunition in them, but basically these function exactly the same as any other magazine that goes into an AK. You have to put it in front end first and click it into the rear. The magazine's quite stable, it rocks a little bit, but basically these will feed about 160 rounds each. Another downside of this gun is the fact this will not stop firing when you run out of ammunition. The only differences you will notice is the fact that A, there's no plastic white BBs heading off down the range, and B, there is a bit of a sound difference between firing and not firing, well, firing rounds and not firing rounds. So, retail price for this gun stands at around £300+. You probably could find it cheaper, but you're only looking about £280 at the smallest end of the price range. Buying it brand new, you're looking at £300 plus. Magazines, you can get these mag ones. I believe these were about 50 quid for a box set of 4 or 5 of them, I think it was, which is about the normal for an AK. Now moving on to the more realistic gas product. Now as you notice, I've gone into the gas world now. I have 3 gas weapons, and this GBBR is awesome. If you're after a realistic airsoft weapon that recreates quite a lot of the features of a real steel AK, one of these is brilliant. GHK do the AK-74, which is this one. They do the AKM, which is a uprated version of the AK-47. I think they do quite a few little AKs. But I chose this one because it's an assault rifle. I wanted an assault rifle, and because I'm quite a tall person with long arms, it's quite a good weapon for me to shoulder. Now, when it comes to external features of this gun, again, it's exactly the same as a G&G version. You have steel, you have wood, you have plastic, and you have more wood at the back. Weight-wise, this gun is so light. Well, it's not really light, but compared to the electric version, that weighs about 2 of these. You might be wondering, oh, that's a negative. I don't want a gun that weighs, well, fairy dust. I want something that weighs quite a bit. Well, in a gas blowback weapon, there is a lot of things missing when you compare this to the electric one. It has no motor. It has no gearbox. It has a firing mechanism that's extremely simple, like the real AK. But the magazine, this thing, is where the gas is and where the weight is. This thing, when you compare, put that down to one side, these two plastic magazines weigh nothing compared to this. This has a gas tank inside it. Obviously it has to hold the gas. These just have springs in them. Now, when it comes to connecting the magazine, it's exactly the same as any other magazine for an AK. Again, put it in front first and click it backwards, and then you get it inserted. Now, obviously for safety purposes, put the weapon down here. Obviously you don't want to get shot in the face. That would be quite embarrassing. Now, obviously this weapon is cleared. Obviously the magazine is empty. But safety first. Anyway, again, fire mode selector is up here. Moving it down one position puts the gun into fully automatic. Moving it down again puts the gun in semi-automatic. It's exactly the same as the electric version. However, this magazine has no ammunition in it. It has gas in it, but it has no ammunition in it. The gun is in semi-automatic. Point at the target, nothing happens. Maybe it needs ammunition. Obviously, this gun is very realistic. So what you need is a speed loader with the attached gizmo on the end of it, which GHK very kindly provide for you in your package when you buy brand new. And you put in a few rounds. This magazine will hold 38 rounds even. That's all it holds. These hold 140 or 150 rounds. They're mids, that's a low cap. Now, once again, the weapon, because we're smart, is going to be placed onto safe. So it's all the way back up, safe. Attaching the magazine, like so. Putting the weapon into semi-automatic, so that's all the way at the bottom. Aim. Gun still doesn't fire. We've got gas, we've got ammo, why doesn't this fire? This is a GBBR, this is extremely realistic when you compare it to an electric gun. This charging handle here actually does something. When you insert a magazine for the first time, you have to do that to bring the first round into the chamber. Just like the real steel version. Now, remember the gun is in semi-automatic only. Extremely noisy. Just be on safe, just because I don't want to shoot the roof out. Compare the noise of this thing firing to the electric version. That sounds like a gun. The electric version sounds like an electric version with the gearbox turning and the motor and all that dribble. This is extremely realistic. I'm in a room, obviously, so the noise is a little bit louder, but when you're outside even, this thing makes a difference when you're firing up against the likes of AEGs. Now remember that rate of fire the 11.1 LiPo gave the electric version? Well, let's put this gun onto fully automatic, so that's one click down. Gun is now in fully automatic. I don't have to whack the charging handle back, because remember, I haven't changed the magazine, there's still ammunition in it. This will also demonstrate another feature of a GBBR. So, aiming at the target, I haven't changed the magazine. I haven't changed the gun onto, put the gun onto safe or anything like that. Gun don't fire. Another feature. The gun will stop firing when there is no ammunition left inside the magazine. So, to make this weapon onto safe, lift up the fire selector and put it onto safe, the gun will not fire. So, if you're in the market for a realistic AK, go GBBR. You're in the market for something that will work all year round, and you have good ability to put many different types of magazines in it, then you're going to go electric. Obviously, like I said, this thing retails around £300. You're probably talking all in for all the magazines, about £350, £360 will get you a great setup, and away you go. When it comes to this on its own, with just one magazine, retails in at around about £400, give or take a few pennies. Magazines are fantastically expensive. That's £48 each. So, with it being an assault rifle, you will need to have somewhere in the region of about 4 or 5 magazines to make that a usable weapon system. So, I'm not going to do the mathematics on that, but basically you're looking at £500 plus if you buy that gun brand spanking new to make it brilliant. And that's not excluding what you need to run it on. This is what you'll become very used to. Cans. This is a can of green gas. You have different manufacturers making different grades of green gas. This particular green gas works extremely well when the weather is nice and sunny. Temperature based will bring the gas pressure down on these guns. These guns do not like cold weather. Bring it down below 5 degrees and they're pretty much unusable. Bring it up above 10 degrees and these guns just are awesome. Obviously, like I say, these retail at around £9 plus, depending on your manufacturer, depending on what club you're buying it from, all that kind of stuff. But something else you're also going to need to get used to, lube. This is silicone spray, not WD-40. Silicone spray is something you're going to need to get used to very quickly when it comes to a gas blowback weapon. When it comes to maintenance, you need to maintain this gun like it was a real steel weapon. You need to clean this gun, re-lube it before a match. You then need to do this after a match. You need to clean the barrel every single time after a match, before a match. It's a whole strip down and clean. Why do you have to do that? Gas is a very dirty stuff. There is a lubricant in this which basically gets into the barrel and gunks it up. If you don't clean it up, your effectiveness on this weapon system will drop. I've accepted that. I have to strip this gun down every time before a match and every time after a match. Now, when I say strip down, it doesn't take a long time to strip this gun down. In fact, you can strip this weapon down pretty much in, well, less than a minute to get to all the parts you need to lube. So, like I say, if you're in the market for an AK, for instance, and you're struggling to go down the route of which one you want to go for, gas blowback or electric, electric will work pretty much 9 times out of 10 in pretty much all weathers all year round. If you choose the AK GIMS or AK AIMS, whichever one you class it as, you will get your batteries, gun and a high cap magazine, and all you need to do is get maybe another high cap magazine or a load of mid caps and some ammunition, and away you go. Works brilliantly. If you choose the gas blowback route, this is extremely realistic. This is one level up on electric guns. So if you're after a realistic weapon, get the gas blowback one. Costs more, but it is more realistic. So, I know that was a long video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've explained myself over gas blowback and electric weapons. If you have any questions, comments or whatever, feel free to post them underneath the YouTube page or on the Facebook page when I link this video through. Like I say, I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe. If you have any requests for any future videos, please feel free to let me know below this video, and I will happily, if I can do them, happily do the videos. So stay safe and see you next time.